And we're live from the Res, Two Dark Natives. Your boy Raul Chrisman here, and I'm here with the one and only Andre J. Dominguez in the house.
In the house, man. How you been?
I'm doing good. I see you got your SY shirt on.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
looking
noticed that. And which one you got over there?
That's what I got.
Tokomok.
Hey, down the street,
Neighboring tribe.
across
man.
the road, across the mountain peak, from one
Yeah,
mountain
look at
to
that.
the
Hey,
next.
we got the bloods.
Bringing it together, picnic style. Took a word out later. I'm not even from Tecumseh.
I know.
But hey, that's one gathering that I really like. That's it's only been a couple years that they've kind of gotten it back. I mean, it's one of those old historic gatherings. They got photography from like turn of the century,
Yeah.
and like they had a lot of big stuff going on there a long time ago and everything. But then they kind of went away
a little bit.
This thing all over the place. Bam. Thank you. Beep, beep. But no, it's like but they brought that gathering back. Gabe and those guys up there and their families and got the people together and. I just like the vibe, man, and you can't see on the back of the shirt, but they have one of the old, one of their old timers there drawn out, and it's just cool. It's good.
We come
good gathering
on their third.
I think they're going on the third now. Yeah,
Third annual, right? Yeah,
third annual.
The first one to the second one, man, they're growing and growing.
We got the tire flip, got tug of war. Last year we just chilled. Remember we chilled over there, like in the shade, just talking all day and cracking jokes. And Gator and Durbin were there. And
you remember who won the tug of war?
Oh, you guys won that, huh? Hey, no, you know what happened is I had to go. What did I do? Like I went to eat, and then I came back, and everyone you guys were like, I saw somebody on the ground.
Yeah, man. Oh man, that was the worst part. They're like, I was the only one standing. I swear, I was the only one standing in my whole team, and they were all on the floor. Gator was right in front of me. I was like, man.
But once Gator goes down, no one's gonna pull him.
Yo, no.
Big of a dude.
And then their team started falling. It was gnarly.
It was crazy because it's kind of far out there, but there's a lot of big dudes in that part of the world.
Big boys,
that's
man.
why I got some big men, dude.
Yeah.
And that's why Mitch Granny's got some big men out there too.
Heck yeah, man. That was a
and I think, well, this is the land of woodcutters. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
They be splitting wood still,
man.
so you got some strong. Everybody got boots on.
Everybody got boots.
You go to some gatherings. I don't know if you noticed this, but some gatherings you go to, and people got sneakers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You got the Air Force Ones in some areas.
They're white.
They're all white and clean. They're like, hey, they don't come from my res. Because some res you go to, and you can't keep white shoes.
Can't keep white shoes, man. I remember when I was a kid growing up, all these gatherings, and I wanted white shoes.
Yeah.
Never could keep them.
Yeah, you can't get them. That's why there's no. It's like Vegas was like that when I was a kid. There was nowhere to ride a skateboard.
Yeah.
On the county road maybe get ran over, but everybody had dirt roads and everything. Finally they paved it.
They had.
That's why it's still not.
They had those the skateboards with the off road wheels.
Oh yeah,
Like those plastic ones are those. Yeah.
They look like they go on a Tonka truck or something.
Yeah.
Those are cool. Yeah, you can't keep those kind of shoes up there. Everybody's got boots. Or the men, they all got a lot of them got boots on and. They get out there, start tugging war, and it's crazy. So one thing about SY gathering and Tecumseh, Basic Randy gathering, to me, when I think of those two gatherings, I think Peon. That's my thing.
Yeah.
It's good to go sing Bird. The Bird's good. There's people, all the ladies come out and dance. They're all cooking all day. And, SY has the softball. It's always beautiful. At night, they got the lights cranking and everything.
And
but it's Peon, man.
Well, that and the horseshoes.
Horseshoes, too.
Horseshoes,
you're right, yeah.
Big. Tecumseh, they definitely... They got that whole thing because they're neighboring tribes. They all do the same thing. Yeah. So they're doing, tug of war, horseshoes, and then obviously, Peon.
Well, they're so close. You start getting all the jokes about what track am I standing on. Hey, we won't go there. But no, it's the same vibe. Sit back, enjoy each other, play some horseshoes, enjoy that summer. There's always somebody who's just going a little too much. But it's all fun times.
Heck yeah, man.
A lot of our people were made on nights like that.
Those in the really dark areas, huh?
So who took San Isabel Gathering last year? I know. I meant the year before. We're gonna hat trick that one this year.
Man, I hope so, man. Because that is. I don't know if that's ever. I don't know. Probably, but
it's had to.
It had
We're
to
not that
happen. I hope. I want to say that I would, but no. Yeah, definitely. There's probably.
We're so. Dude. Man, if we win it 3 years in a row, that'd be so.
3 years in a row, that'd be awesome. It took me a while to win the first time in my San Isabel because man, there's always a bunch of teams. And there's always a bunch. It's never a big pot. Science, we do our best. We're not a big gaming tribe, and we've always done our best to try to, the people who put it on, shout out to them. Especially same thing with shout out to people and our neighboring tribe over there in Tuckamuck. Man, they always. We don't have many resources, but when we try to get together, we try to do the best we can.
But you know what resource you guys do have? You have good oak, dude. And I swear it makes a big deal difference. We go play Peon places, and the wood is like just terrible. And it's like, oh, this wood's bright, but it's all oily, so it's smoky.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, this is clean burning wood, but you can't see nothing because like those mountains up there have some great wood. So when you go to Mesa Grande, you go to San Isabel, it's always that oak they have to grow in there. And it's just, man, it's bright and it's clean and it's just good. It really adds like something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, playing. Yeah, there's especially when you're playing Peon. Depending on where you're at, like you said, depending on where you sit, you're always trying to get the opposite side of where that wind's blowing. You don't want that smoke in your face. Yeah, exactly. But with that San Isabel wood,
So let me ask you this then, since we're talking about what is your favorite place to play all year? Peon. What are some of your hot spots, your favorite places?
I gotta say San Isabel because that's where I live, and I always want to play great in front of my people and my family. They're all there, obviously, and they're all watching us. So that's obviously
home court advantage.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't home court advantage for the longest time, but I remember a couple of years I was sitting there singing. I'm like looking up behind, there's no one there. I'm like, come on. But so that's number one. I ain't gonna lie. I like San Pasqual.
Yeah.
Because obviously their rules, the way you can.
It's an interesting night, right? It's interesting. They don't do the full tournament. They break it up and try to do something a little bit more.
Each game is worth money.
Yeah, I think a little bit more appropriate to the way we used to play with tying up. Trying to make something that's.
Hey, you put up your money, I put up mine, and let's fight. Whoever wins, wins,
Yeah.
Whereas a tournament bracket where we're going.
And, Dave Toller's put a lot, and, their whole crew, but, like, Dave is, I know, really spearheaded and done a lot to try to say, hey, let's take another look at the game,
Yeah.
The tournament may not be what's best. And now when there's, like, 15 teams, and you feel like if you're going to win a couple games, you're for sure not going home till the next sunlight. It is rough, so... I commend him for trying. I don't know if that's perfect yet, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's getting cool. There. He's getting, so with that tournament, obviously you play and you keep going against somebody, and then what happens is people leave.
Well, remember, about 2 years ago, we were killing it, man. We weren't killing it. We had a stalemate game. We were playing for Ed. We had a bye, and then we had a long game. And then everybody was gone. It was like, so we only had the opportunity to win one game. And we would have beat everybody there, but they all went home early because they don't believe in
a long night. We're waiting for everyone.
But no, so that was kind of the downside of that.
But I ain't gonna lie, that was only the one time it's ever happened to me. So other than that, I do like San Pasqual a lot. What about you?
I like San Isabel. I do. I like it. The vibe. I think a lot of my liking it up there also is the history of the area. When I was coming in playing, the old guys that were playing at that time, they were passed on now. They were from San Isabel. The Huacheños, and my mom knew them as a young girl, and she lived up in San Isabel for a short duration and was around there. So it was cool to know, and like when you see elders, you see them, but to kind of know them, have them come to your home and eat with them and talk to them and have them share with you. You kind of get that little bond, So hats off all the elders who take that time to talk to someone young and keep it rolling. But so I always felt like really kind of like at home up there. Obviously, my dad's from there, my wife's from there. So every time I played, I feel like I'm representing them also. So I feel like, really at home, like home court advantage. But like that history, my wife's dad's mom, so my grandmother-in-law, mixing myself up here, she was just saying the other day, she was talking to the youth up there, and I overheard her talking, and she was talking about Peon. And she was saying, when I was a kid, and she's in her mid-70s now, right? She was saying, when I was a kid, kids weren't allowed around Peon. They'd take it away. This isn't for you. And now kids play. The kids there in the room were like, wow. They were really surprised to hear that. And she said, in Peon in those times it was a man's game. Yeah. It was not for women to play. And, it wasn't that women weren't participating. It was that their what they did there was different. It wasn't about playing. They were there to sing and back up. They had choirs and they would sing for their men and as a community they had that. So she was talking about those times that she saw. And her dad was a player. Her father was a player up there in the 40s. And so she grew up seeing that stuff. And then, obviously she never played and her boys never picked it up. So, now her grandkids play, and her granddaughter married me and I play. And then now her great grandkids, they play. So, it's a pretty cool experience for her, I think. When I first started playing, she would, up there in San Isabel, went up there and she stood behind my team and her and her crew. And I remember later on, she ended up giving me crap, she was like, critiquing a little bit, but I was real much appreciated.
Yeah.
But she would tell me like, she'd tell Vanessa, you better not be around there, during certain times.
Yeah,
and when I had kids, she told me, you better not have my grandkids around that. It's not for them and everything. So, she was definitely, and she was saying the same thing my mom was saying, 'cause they come up from the same generation. And it was just like a total respect of the game. And I really appreciate that, like, you go to certain areas and there are those old timers that come out and say, this is what it was. Yeah. And they really speak about it and there's such a strong respect. And that's, I really appreciate that. Because right now, while the culture is flourishing and all these kids are playing and everybody's out there doing it, same time, it's kind of like, you worry that the kids, because they are doing it so much, that they take it for granted and maybe some of the respect is lost.
Yeah.
And so you need that elder voice. And so up there, I hear that elder voice. And so I appreciate playing up there, plus we've been winning. I've always done decent up there. I've made it to the championship game a bunch of times. I've lost almost all of them except for the last 2 times that we made it there, which is cool. So it felt good to win there.
I think my first time ever losing a championship game was in San Isabel. It was worst.
Yeah, I played until after church came out. I remember I was playing and, and it's all these cars pulling in. They were going to church. I said 9 o'clock there early, but come to find out they go to church up there at 9, and down here in Viejas they go at 10. So they came out of church and we're still playing and we ended up losing, but it was cool just to be there and to, I mean, it's never cool to lose, but I mean, I was, I did okay that night.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Tech and Book's up there right there with them. I kind of almost put them together because they're a week apart and very similar vibes, I feel like. I haven't won that up there yet, so I kind of feel like, it's low on my list because of that. Home at Viejas. I always like playing at home at Viejas. First place I ever played. We have lawn now, so that's cool.
First place I ever won it was in Viejas, a big tournament, yeah.
Last time I played in Viejas, we won it. Our team won that. That was cool.
Yeah,
I won a few here, but I've lost a lot. I've lost pretty good down here a few times, but I think I've won it.
Always did well.
Actually, I think I've won it a couple of times. I've done like second place, whatever that is, a couple times. But I'll say the other place is Saquon.
I was just about to say that.
Saquon.
I'm gonna tell you why I like Saquon.
Yeah.
They always had grass. They always had grass, man. Okay. And man, you playing for hours on end, man. Yeah. That takes a toll, no matter what you have underneath your knees, man. So that was always nice. And I always played pretty well there.
The good thing about grass, people don't want to talk about, is like you can just lay back and pass out. Not when you're a man. When you're a man, you can't do those things. You gotta man up, dude. I don't care. Like I seen them recently. I saw a younger men team kind of acting like they were kids laying out, and it's not for me to go. I'm not their teacher to go tell them. Yeah. My little video was like, "Hey, dude, you're playing with men. There's elders here that are old playing. Like you have to man up physically and just you gotta endure it. It's part of it. But when you're a kid, like sometimes you go, I'm tired." You just see them pass out on the grass. It's kind of
behind you, huh?
It's like, hey, man, they give everything they got and they're still hanging in. They're not sleeping, but they're right there. They're in it to win it or they're in it to participate. You know what's good about Squad? Midnight.
Oh,
yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I remember one time I was sitting there, that's the medianoche. We were singing, the whole thing. And then I just saw these people running. I was
just
like,
everybody.
Oh, dude, there's a fight. What's going on? I'm thinking like, where my kids at? We good? Then I'm like, I don't hear nothing. I'm like, well, what's going on? I didn't know what was going on. Maybe some red dogs got loose or something. I don't know. It was late.
Yeah, man.
Then I looked and I ain't legit, I ain't never seen so many people run in my life and they were full sprint.
Slow motion, everything. Pushing kids over.
Running straight to the donuts, man. Saquon busts out donuts, sandwiches,
man.
Coffee, everything.
Man. Yeah, I always love it because you guys have no idea when you're singing that long and you're not just sitting there,
You're burning calories, dude.
You're moving. You're hungry, you're thirsty, and then when all the vendors leave, especially if you're hitting, midnight and you're going past it, because I think Saquon does a good job. They do one at midnight, and then a few hours later they'll do another.
I know that they put a real effort into that. They'll go looking for vendors to someone. They'll say we need someone for Peon late at night. Yeah. So I know a couple of years they've had taco ladies open up at 9. They're not even open during the days. Be open just for Peon. And that's really good. I know Veronica's done that. Morongo now, I know that
Morongo, they did
they've done a good, they've done good bringing food out and stuff, just to be there, muffins and stuff, and it's hard because when you take kids or you take a group of people and like you're playing and you get done or whatever, you're like, oh man, they're like, hey, we're hungry. You're like, well, let's go get something to eat, and there's nothing to eat.
Yeah.
So it's nice that the committees will do that, provide some food or some coffee especially. I've played it a bunch of times where it's late and it's like, okay, now it's time to go home. And there's no coffee.
Yeah.
Like, where's the booth that everybody's gone home or nobody has coffee? And sometimes that coffee, you kind of like, man, that, like you're saying, your voice. Yeah. Sometimes you really look at that as a safety issue to try to get home.
Yeah.
So either go sleep in your car or you go find a coffee spot on the way. But it's like if there was a pot of coffee, that would really help,
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of committees try to do something.
Sandersville, I think, did it for the. I mean, I don't know. What I would believe is the first time. I think this last year.
Yeah, they finally done it in the past. Yeah, I'm sure it was for sure prominent.
Is what I remember exactly.
They made a point
that everybody knew. So I know Morongo does that, and that's
AS has done that. I don't know about last year, but I know I would always make a point to say, hey, don't forget Peon.
Yeah.
I would always try to say, like, if you're gonna have shirts too, like save some for the Peon players and things like that. It's important, people come rolling in there to play Peon, and that's one of the oldest things that we still have in our culture that's real strong, that there's a connection, a chain that we never lost and brought back, that it's always been there. Mm-hmm. And it's almost went away, but we still have it. So I feel like we have to really safeguard it as much as possible. Try not to change it as much as possible.
Yeah.
And just really safeguard and protect it. And those elders who play it, I mean, we really have to take care of those guys, and appreciate them. Like, even when we beat them, I mean, I don't feel bad because they beat us how many times, and, it's part of it, but same time, I always want to make sure they're taken care of, at all times. They feel safe, they feel appreciated, and I think that's an important part of it too.
Who else? Where were we? Was it in Fort Mojave or this last tournament that we won when we took the second?
There's been so many.
We took second in Bird, and then we.
It was Mojave. Fort Mojave. Yeah, we were just doing good that weekend.
No, but what I was saying, they also had.
They took care of us great.
They took care of us great right before we left. They made sure we had drinks and.
Yeah, shout out to Mojave Indian Days, man. Because there's not a lot of Peon players up there, and they know that. But it is a game that you played in ancient times. It's a game they played actually not to like there's still players up there. They've been playing it, but they haven't really been too active lately. But they still put the good foot forward to say, we want to bring that into our gathering or to our Indian Days. And even if the majority of the players come from somewhere else, we want to treat them right.
Yeah.
Because I think, from Supai all the way to here, our cultural region, every tribe in between, that's something I see everywhere is the tradition of taking care of those who come in.
Yeah.
Taking care of them, feeding them, give them something to drink, make sure they're safe,
Yeah, they definitely did that to us, yeah.
And I felt that, yeah.
I felt that,
100%.
Tremendously.
And then, obviously what you get back is respect, and you get back is, you behave yourself when you're there and stuff. And that's the beauty of the gatherings and stuff. So, anyways, back to your original question. For me, I got to say Saquon, Viejas, SY, they're all right there, top three for me.
Yeah, that's good. I do like Tuckahoe. Only reason why I didn't put them up there is just because we've only been there twice. They just started, but they're Peon. I mean, and because I just never did get there. Just got whooped, But man, they're you guys you didn't play with me that last year, huh?
In Mason Granny?
Yeah.
No, that's why we lost. Yeah, why you guys lost?
You lost. But that's always fun. But man, Peon, man.
Another spot that not a lot of teams go to, and why I kind of like it is Yuma. I like going out to Yuma to play because again, that's a spot that there is a lot of Peon there. Like in the old timers, there was a lot of actually a lot of women even would play out that way and stuff, going back to the 80s and maybe earlier. I don't know, but when I started, there was a lot of Peon out there still. So a lot of the songs that we sing and stuff are, they come out of like those Kokopah teams and those Quetzon teams. And so I like to go out to Quetzon and play, and you'll see some of those teams that don't travel, they'll be there to play, and so I enjoy that. And like I said, there's not a lot of teams out there, but it's just good vibes. I enjoy that. For me, it's only 2 hours away of a drive, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And because the Bonner and Peon State, it's like, man, it's nice to play a night where you're going to play 3-4 games, or less, or 2 games or less.
Yeah.
It's rough when you go to some of these tournaments, they got big money, and every team wants to play that weekend, and then you end up playing like 5 games, and then you lose.
Still not even hitting the championship.
Yeah, you're still not hitting the championship, yeah.
But, it's game of Peon, but, it's nice to have a different change pace sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Is there a distance you won't drive back from for Peon?
I won't drive back from the tournaments that I've been. I mean, for me, so even when I was like not even of age to drive, I was always been driving. Like my family, my grandma would drive us there. I'd probably drive us back. So I've always just driven, and we didn't have money for like hotels and things like that all the time. And for me, if I'm going something for like a specific reason and that reason is over, I'm like, time to go home. So, for me, I always just, normally for the past couple years, it has been different, but I just always drive back. It's not a big deal for me. I'm so used to it. Driving, especially if you end at like 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, that's easy stuff.
It's easy. It's easy. But when you start to hit like that 6:00, your body, I mean, for me, my body like kind of like wants to wake up anyways. Since it's like night or morning and you see the sun, you don't feel as droggy as if you were driving at night. But for me, I'll drive anywhere and come back.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I've driven all night when the sun comes. I feel like there's a little window that makes it hard, but when that sun comes up, I'm usually good to go.
Yeah.
Especially if you win, you have that adrenaline.
Oh, yeah.
You're good, dude.
And then you can make a store run.
I try not to. Have a breakfast on the way. I try not to drive back from Arizona, though. That's the one spot I'll say, I'll get a room, It's weird because I think Morongo is actually a further drive, but I'll drive home from Morongo. But Yuma, I'll just get a room out there.
It's always been a hard drive for me, no matter what. I don't have no idea why. I think it's the roads, like the windy roads, is Paula. For whatever reason, I always get tired.
And that's real close to SY.
Yeah, it's so close.
Absolutely.
I don't know why. It's just always been like a tough drive for me.
It's weird with Peon because obviously it's an old game and whatever, but if you look at the last 20 years when all these gatherings really start, having their first annuals and stuff, now a lot of them are now 18th annual, 15th annual, 20th annual. So you look at there's gatherings like San Isabel, Viejas, Saquon. These guys have been in there for a minute, you know what I mean? And they're kind of very established in their weekends and stuff. And then you got gatherings that have kind of changed up a little bit or the situation, or they're new, La Posta had some Peon for a while. Manzanita's coming back this year, which is going to be cool. Peon was always good down there.
Yeah.
And then Rincon, right? Rincon had their fiesta. Some years they'd have just men. Some years they would have men and women. Some years they'd have everybody. And Kauai, they just have men.
Yeah.
But I think I was gonna say out of those gatherings that have kind of really kind of cemented themselves in the last few years, I think Rincon's a spot that I really enjoy playing. Last year, we didn't win, but I enjoyed it, and I know the kids had a good time. And but it has to do with where it's at. It's right in the middle. It's not that far away.
Yeah, it's a nice area. I think only a couple times that we really didn't go is because there was just conflicting dates. So I have one tournament on another tournament and same dates. That's probably the only reason why I didn't go. But other than that, I like that they have just the gathering in general. They got good bird scene. They got good vendors. They got softball, basketball tournament, and then at night they have their Peon. But also what they do is they have a booth right there, dead center in the Peon. So that's always awesome too. So
I think it depends too, what you're going there with. If you're just a man playing, you might like a Kauai because they just have the men's tournament.
Yeah.
Because you can just focus in on the men playing, which is great. If you are a woman, you might like a Saquon or somewhere like that where there's not a woman buy-in.
Yeah,
but just teams are playing, good money coming back, and it's good vibes and everything. For me, I'm a family man. I take kids, so right off the bat, I think of places that are like Saquon, Viejas, Morongo. There's opportunity for kids at Coimi. There's opportunities for them to play and win and all of that kind of stuff. Obviously, we sing, so there's Bird there, an opportunity for us to sing. That's always makes the gathering even more a place I want to make sure I go to. So 2019, Peon coming up. We all know that Kuba Days. Kuba Days, Cinco de Mayo weekend starts it all off. As tradition, they always start off Peon, and then we get over to Needles to end the season as tradition, and everything in between. What are a couple tournaments you're looking to try to play and win? What are you looking forward to, man?
Looking forward to obviously San Isabel, Tuckamook. I always go. It's weird. I think Saboba's coming up here soon. I don't know if we're gonna hit that one.
I hear good things about it, but it's a little bit out of my region, and I'm going to be at Warner's that day. So
So
they have a youth school gathering.
Yeah, so normally I've always hit that one the past few years. Morongo, definitely gonna be heading out that way. It's always just fun. I
Okay.
just love the atmosphere there. They also typically have like two of them. San Pasqual will be there. Um, obviously the ones in our region, and then we'll be hitting, going out to Arizona.
There's some places that I haven't done well in that me looking forward, if I play, I want to try to do well at just because I haven't in years. One being Campo. They always have good stuff up there, but I never do good out there.
Never do good there.
I never do good in Paula. I've won games and stuff, but just like haven't taken it home.
Oh,
Verona, I've won Verona before. My team has done well, won that, but usually I go there and like remember last year we were on a tear. We went there, won 5 games, and lost. We weren't even in the championship game. We lost. So Verona, I guess that if you're gonna do good one night, that's the night to do good. That's the night
you want to go to
because it's big prizes, so many teams, But for me this season, I want to do well at the San Isabel because we have the opportunity of a hat trick. I think that's a big one. I want to do well in Yuma because we've done well out there. In the last 3-4 years, I've taken it a few times. I want to keep that going if we can. Those are the two I'm kind of really pulling for. Redemption.
Where's that redemption one? Come on.
That's Tecumseh. That's why I'm wearing this shirt. I've not won up there, man. I got to win.
Morongo's.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about that, dude. I don't want to talk about that.
We need redemption.
What a grande. Oh, if I would have shot that, we would have won the whole thing. What a championship game. You were there. I was there. We were all there. Well, not really anybody. Everybody had gone home. How come everybody says things like, we don't split, or always the first one's gone in at home at midnight? No, I'm kidding. I don't know. All I know is, that was rough. But it was better than 2 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
That one I really don't want to talk about. Yeah. George Smith whooped us. I'm just going to say that. I don't want to tell anybody how bad, but they whooped us, man. And Big Ant had no part of it. Don't let him lie to you. He didn't shoot nothing. He might have. I don't even know. He didn't run for no sticks.
They didn't need to shoot nothing.
I know Little Ant didn't do nothing either. He was even playing. They probably had Jeremy playing with him. It was all George. He really was, though. Remember? He won that crazy run.
Our butt.
He whooped us, dude. Yeah, that was rough. But
yeah, Peon season, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I seen San Pasqual. I seen a lot for the kids wise is they're doing a lot of youth peon practice. I've been seeing a bunch of kids.
Yeah, Big Ray down there.
Yeah, big
down
there
doing
exactly,
it. Raymond's doing it. He's got the kids out there. He's working with them.
I remember playing Raymond when we were kids, man. So
yeah.
So
it's crazy. Hey, you're working the youth program in San Antonio. You got your crew. They got his crew down there.
We will see you.
Hey, we'll see you there. Hey, Gabe's gonna come out of nowhere with the Tecumseh kids.
Man.
Those girls were whooping everybody last
those
year.
Girls, man, they sound beautiful, dude.
Oh,
they play well, and they're just youngins, man.
They're singing the old songs.
Old songs that we grew up singing, and man, so good job, Gabe. Good job, Ray.
Yeah. Good job, Andre.
Thank you. But yeah, so we're looking forward to all these gatherings out here with some Peon, man.